He grew up with everything: luxury, training to be king, and people who admired him. But under the music and fun, dark secrets were hiding. The palace made for a future king became a place full of scandal. Night after night, people whispered about the forbidden pleasures, broken promises, and betrayal waiting to happen. This isn't just a princess story. It's a story of lost power and broken dreams crushed by desire and duty. It's the story of a crown that slipped away and never came back. It was a bright morning in Male on the 17th of November 1901. A little baby boy was born into one of the most powerful families in the Maldives. The boy was Hassan Izzuddin, the only son of Mohamed Shamsuddin and noblewoman Sayyid Kaleyfaanu Bodusidi Sikti. From the moment he took his first breath, his life was set on a golden path. When he was very young, his father, Mohamed Shamsuddin, became the king of the Maldives, Sultan Mohamed Shamsuddin. And Hassan Izzuddin, he became a prince, the crown prince, a child born into velvet and pearls, raised to wear the crown. He grew up in the main palace, surrounded by honor, royalty, and every luxury a young royal could ever imagine. He studied about religion and philosophy in the Maldives, and then he traveled to Ceylon, to the prestigious Royal College. Every lesson, every decision, every footstep, it was all part of the careful plan to prepare him to rule the Maldives. When he returned to Male, something grand awaited him. A new palace, not just any home. It was called the Henveiru Ganduvaru, specially built for him. A crown jewel of the capital. It was no secret he wasn't just any prince, he was the chosen one. The palace became a symbol of his status, unmatched, untouched, and full of promises. At 20 years old, the prince had reached the age for marriage, and on the 23rd of April 1921, he was wed. His bride was Aminat Didi of Thaareekhah. She was just 12 years old. She was known fondly as Aage Didi, the granddaughter of the Prime Minister himself. Her arrival at the Henveiru Ganduvaru was like a scene from an old tale. She was accompanied by ladies dressed in silks and gold as the people of Male watched the young bride enter the palace gates. This marriage was a political union, a power play. It brought together the royal family and the state's most powerful minister. 300 women were invited to the wedding, the elite of Male, many of whom who had dreamed of marrying the prince, now watched a child take that place. But behind the drums and the lights, behind the laughter and pearls, something darker was brewing. Prince Hassan Izzuddin was no ordinary royal. He was talented, he was brilliant. He had the voice of a nightingale and the hands of a master musician. He sang, he danced, he played the tabla, the guitar, and many traditional Maldivian instruments with ease. At night, Henveiru Ganduvaru became alive, not with royal meetings or prayer though, but with music, with movement, with mystery. Soon, the palace became infamous. Whispers spread around Male. What once was a symbol of royal power became a stage for what many called sin. Young men dressed as women, women danced in men's clothes. The parties lasted until dawn. The line between entertainment and shame began to blur. Parents told their children not to go near the palace. Henveiru Ganduvaru had transformed from a royal home into something else entirely. They called it the House of Pleasure. It wasn't long before consequences arrived, hidden behind the velvet curtains. When a meeting was arranged in Ceylon between Prince Hassan Izzuddin and Crown Prince Edward of England, the moment could have changed history. But the prince never showed up. It was said that he partied all night as usual. Even when the sun rose, he didn't stop. He finally collapsed into bed at 9 in the morning. By the time of the royal meeting, he was fast asleep. His door had to be broken down, but he didn't wake up. Instead, the Maldivian delegation had to lie. They told the British officials that the prince had a high fever, but the truth was far more shameful. The meeting was cancelled and the nation's dignity was cracked. Back home, his marriage with Agedidi began to fall apart. Fights, distance, silence, and then betrayal. Soon, the abuse could no longer be hidden. Agedidi, barely 15, returned to her family, broken, sick, and silent. The powerful Thaareekhah family turned cold. The storm was building. The monarchy began to shake. But that didn't stop Prince Hassan Izzuddin. He married again, a second woman, and then more, but no wife stayed long. One by one, they were kept away, pushed to the sides of the palace. They sat swinging outside, listening to the drums of the parties that was going on inside, but they were not allowed to enter. The people started losing faith. In 1932, the first constitution of the Maldives was written and it changed everything. The line of inheritance was cut. Hassan Izzuddin was removed from the heir. His dream of ruling was gone forever. But the prince didn't stop. He didn't change. He kept dancing, he kept singing, kept gathering his friends and his secrets inside Henveiru Ganduvaru. Until one day, it all collapsed. The royal family was accused. 30 people, friends, dancers, loyal servants were punished. Henveiru Ganduvaru was seized. Its name changed forever from Henveiru Ganduvaru to Muliyaage. The once certain future of Prince Hassan Izzuddin had turned into dust. His father, Sultan Shamsuddin, lost the throne. The people who once bowed to them now turned their backs. The prince and his father were sent into exile far away to the island of Formula. There, on September 25th of 1940, the prince died, sick, alone, searching for comfort in the same pleasures that once made him feel alive. Sultan Shamsuddin followed years later, dying from heartbreak on June 14, 1947. And so ends the tale of Prince Hassan Izzuddin, a man born to be king but broken by his own desires, a palace that became a prison, a melody that turned into a cry for help, a throne that was never his to keep. What are your thoughts on Prince Hassan Izzuddin and his Henveiru Ganduvaru parties? Let me know. Until we are able to unfold another tale beyond the sunny side, this is me, Tata, signing off. Bye bye.